All right.
You have your note.
Welcome to the table, Ring of Contrarians. Today, we jump back in after our heroes came out of the mirror to find themselves 20 years in the future? Question mark?
No, we're pretty sure it's 20 years in the future.
We're pretty sure it's 20 years in the future. After finally getting in touch with somebody, namely Leofin's father, the party has decided to go down the mountain as quickly as they can and head towards the desert, the home of Kaine, Cyphus, and Birdie. As this is the only place that they know they have an ally that is still alive and or responding. And just as they were about to embark, the message that they had tried to send through their instant messenger clicked back with a reply. DM, take it away.
All right. So, as the party looks on to the instant message box, its light just starting to dim after switching back into the received position. What do you do?
Well, Vola has the box, because Vola always has the box, because she's the only one, not the only one, but she feels comfortable carrying it all the time. Guys, our box is, I'm going to open it.
Oh, right.
I put it down and I open
We
it.
kind of turn
Cyphus.
around back and
I think
face
that
her.
might be Malachi. I'm going to need more paper so I can make origami.
All right. So, as you
This
open
is not
the box,
the time, Dio.
there
really
is
not the time.
a single piece of paper lying within.
All right. Perfect.
As you pick it up and read it, you see it looks like different handwriting. Maybe it's his. I mean, it has been 20 years, and all it says is report.
Report?
That's not Malachi. Same way that Lloyd was not Lloyd.
Maybe it's...
What do you mean by not Lloyd?
Remember, we sended Lloyd, asked Lloyd a whole bunch of questions. Not a whole bunch of questions. We were just like, "Hi, Lloyd, it's us. We're alive. What's going on?" kind of thing. And he's just like, "Interesting. It's been 20 years since they've had any contact with us."
Maybe
And unlike Petrick, the only thing that they have to say is interesting.
Okay,
Doesn't feel right.
I'm going to just say his dad was a chatterbox, just from the get-go. Lloyd was never the one I would go for conversations with.
Hey, but
Just
I don't
throwing that
care
out there.
who you are.
Just throwing that.
20 years passes, and people that are probably dead are actually not dead.
That is
You're gonna
interesting.
have more. You're gonna have more than that to say.
Maybe he's trying to think of a way to...
Okay. Besides Lloyd, out of the question,
Who sent this
casting
message?
Cinder to Malachi, I could not. I could reach him, but it's like I'm going through a syrup. Like, it's not as clear and easy as it was with Petrick.
All you see is just Cypho's head tilt like a dog, just like, huh?
If Malachi is indisposed of right now, maybe someone else has been put in charge of the Rifter's Eye.
They probably just sent someone else to take over the tower.
The question is, do we want to respond to this or do we not?
I mean,
I vote we move, get about a day's worth of travel away from here, and then file a report as if we have not moved. Just in case.
they're
I
not
like
going
that
to be
idea.
able. They're not going to be able to follow us.
They know where we last were headed.
And maybe, since we've been gone, maybe they have a way to scry on these boxes.
Fair enough. I still want to send origami though. Hi, someone's going to enjoy it.
We'll send origami whenever we,
appended
in a day from now, when we
origami.
send a report. How about that?
All right, time to go to the tower.
We're not going to the tower. We already talked about that.
To the tower.
Give me your loot.
As you come
Some of this
closer
work.
to the edge, you can start to hear the wind blowing across the mountaintop. Finally, once you exit out, you can feel a cutting, biting wind just tear through your clothes. Even though some of you are more bundled up than others, you can still feel it just kind of cutting right through. It's not as bad as being like in your birthday suit, but you can still feel it.
Yeah. Yay. Is it blowing like snow around, or is it mostly just cold wind?
Right now, it's just mostly cold wind.
Okay.
Off into the distance, you can see a bit of snow flurry passing by, and it looks like there might be a bit of a gap in the mountain at that point, or at least on this cliffside.
Okay.
That is about 150 feet away. So as the party continues down, you're on a ledge that's probably about 30 feet in the widest spaces, and it comes down to around maybe 5 feet at very key points.
Okay. So you want us to roll
Yes.
when we get to those key points?
So I want everybody to make a just straight dexterity check right here.
Great.
Okay, I think I should be.
Natty 20. Thank Christ.
Apparently, you're the lightest fucker on
So
the
that-
planet right now.
That's
Plus
good.
3.
Plus 3? Okay, 13.
13? Okay.
10.
Ready to watch your girlfriend fall?
No, you're fine.
Okay, yeah, actually, I'm good. 17.
17? Okay.
I have 10.
Oh, wait.
Alright.
16.
16? Okay.
Yeah.
This is a group deal, so
Okay. Oh my god.
you passed very well, very easily. As you come up to this little ledge, it comes out about 3 to 5 feet, and it stretches out for about 10, 15 feet away from you. And you just
Sort of like back up against the wall, just
Yeah.
scooting along.
just right as your back is up against the wall, trying to make sure your pack doesn't catch on anything, just shimmy shammying all the way across. You eventually make it over. The path continues for another 30 feet, and then you start hearing a cracking noise. Give me a second check.
This is everyone or just?
Just Birdie.
Okay.
I will allow one person help.
Alright, I'll help her.
Okay. 11.
Now, with advantage?
Yep. I got a 6 on the second roll. Oh, shit.
Okay, so as you hear this crack, you start to look
Is
around,
that you?
No. What was me?
and
We're
then you
gonna
start
die.
hearing a rumble,
We're definitely gonna die.
and then you finally look up, and you see that there is a small little bit of what some might call a tiny avalanche heading your
Everyone.
way.
Cheese it!
Everyone get in. I grab my box
Okay.
and I hit what side is it? It's the the hex. Total barrier.
Hex. Okay.
Oh,
Everyone rushes in, getting as close as possible to Siphos, and he brings out his cube and just smashes onto the button. You can see a force push out. Little bits of snow were just starting to fall from this avalanche. Now you can see them just landing and blowing against what seems to be just invisible wall within a cube.
And I'm counting myself every 50 seconds and I'm
56
repeating that every single time
Okay.
until it stops.
It's kind of cozy.
It takes about a minute and a half. Just you can feel the ground shaking underneath you. You have about a 20-foot ledge on you at this moment, and you can just see tons of snow piling up beside you and above you. Eventually, everything goes black.
I pull out my sword,
Okay.
my moon touch sword, so it's glowing in here.
All right. So, it has now been about 2 minutes.
Mhm.
You are in a light blue box. It would appear to be a light blue box due to her moon touch sword and the white snow pressed up against your cube. Give me a investigation check, Siphos.
Only Cypher.
I hate
Or
snow.
investigation or survival.
Or survival?
Yes,
what's my better
whichever one's higher.
at? 15.
I can
15?
Can I help with survival?
Yeah, you can help
Okay.
with survival.
19.
19? Okay.
A lot better.
You can see as you look closely at this wall of snow, you can see that it has compacted quite nicely. If you were to let down your force field, it would hold relatively well.
So we basically made ourselves an igloo.
Yes.
Okay. I dropped it.
Okay.
Oh, I let it expand.
Let dissipate. Okay.
Yeah.
That was something else.
Yeah.
Hi, no more wind. Positives, right?
Well,
Kinda, your thoughts?
how much snow do you think's on the other side of this wall?
Probably more than we really want.
Hi, anybody got fireball?
Yes.
Really?
Yes.
Ah.
But we're not doing it in here.
Yeah, I was like, let's not.
No. I'd rather not get exploded on top of being buried by snow.
All right,
Don't trust me.
we could always move Clive to the front and we could start pushing it out of the way. Let's face it, he's the strongest out of all of us.
If we needed to, I could turn into a badger and start trying to dig through.
I was about to say, we have two
The advent of
Workhorses.
Badgerfin.
Ah, the return of Badgerfin.
badgers.
Yes.
That's what
If we want to go with
Badgerfin
that
does.
plan, I can go ahead and do that. I will go ahead and use my wild shape to turn into a giant badger.
Okay. And you have plenty of space to just kind of stretch out right here as your body goes into the contortions of a wild shape, and you can feel the bones shifting and replacing and fur growing over your body as the magic changes you into a giant badger.
I kind of just go to him and be like, tread slowly. Dig slowly. And I give it a thumbs up.
I nod, and the direction we were traveling, I'll start to cautiously start digging kind of closer to the wall. Start digging out a tunnel big enough for hopefully everyone to at least crouch to get through. I'm a giant badger. Can it be tall enough for them to walk through?
Okay.
Well, if we can crawl through, or at the very least, if it's tall enough that Clive can fit through without having to, belly crawl, then we'll be fine.
I want you to give me an athletics check.
Athletics check.
As a badger?
Yeah, actually, that would
Yes.
replace that.
Essentially.
3.
Wow. Okay.
Look
So
at
as-
my
As you start to dig, it's a lot more compact than you thought it was going to be. It's like solid ice, and you just jam your claws into it and start burrowing through. It's taking quite a bit longer than you're hoping it would be. Right now, it's getting up to around 15 minutes just for you to move about 20 feet. It's like solid ice at this point.
Leaf, and this isn't working. So how about we get Clive to do this properly?
Who's Clive gonna do different?
Oh, just ran through
So
it.
as Leo
So
Finn is
compact it more as he's
digging
going forward.
He'll get
through
through.
the snow, Birdie is taking her shield, her little arm shield,
Okay.
and just picking it up
Scooping.
and then
Scooping
scooping
it
it
back.
off to the side, so it's not
Okay.
piling back up on top of us.
Okay. That works. Give me one more athletics check.
It's +1.
I would like to use Bardic
Athletics is
Inspiration.
closer.
I was about to say, yeah.
I'd like to
Well, that would be
expend
a
a slot of Bardic
It's right.
Inspiration to help
Your strength
Badger
athletics.
Okay.
Yeah, I was just making sure we're doing that.
So you can add what is it,
it's
a
D6?
yeah,
D6 to
Okay.
your roll.
See, I'm a good support,
Look,
fuckers.
being a bard.
Oh, it's a D8.
Is it a D8?
It's a D8.
It's 9, 10, 11.
What? Okay. So at this point,
Did that D8 not help at all?
No, he got
it
hit.
helped.
Yeah.
Oh my god, really?
So
This guy over here.
as you're digging through, that last 20 feet, you're starting to get the idea of how to dig through ice.
Great.
It's a bit of a different experience than rock. Who could figure? But you start digging through, and you're getting just the right kind of angle for it to crack through your claws to crack through, and you just start shoveling back. Birdie's just double timing at this point, just trying to scoot it back to the point where it's not blocking anyone's way. And then it starts reaching softer snow as you come through, and you're coming through and you're packing it off to the sides as much as you can, and then you eventually poke your head out, and you are now a good 50 feet through. You look down and you can see that the pathway has tapered off a little bit. It's now at 10 feet, and it is getting a little bit smaller as it goes on for the last bit of this cliffside. It tapers down to about 5 feet again.
We did it. I say in Badger.
I'm sorry. Badger first.
We could always put the necklace on Leaf and it's an animal.
I really don't want to hear those thoughts. I feel like it's mostly just going to be, especially if he's a badger.
I'm a badger.
God damn, I love rocks.
He keeps the same smartness.
Yeah, I look at Cyphos and just kind of shrugs.
He sits up on his back, on his butt, and just goes.
What?
Just shrugs his
Guess
shoulders,
I'll
and
just
throws his arms out to the side, like, what the fuck, man?
Again, very different magic types. I don't. This is weird.
We could try it. I'm just saying, but it's technically kind of his necklace, so it's kind of up to her.
We'll try it next time. Does that sound cool? I think she agrees.
As you,
It's not like she uses it much, anyways.
so as you come out of this
We all get
little
the flash of big titties.
out of this badger hole with that thought in mind, you start to feel the cold air rush back through your clothing, and man, is that like a nice cold shower to complement those anime titties. You snap back in, and you're like, okay, got to get back into this, and I want everybody to roll a dexterity check again.
I'm good.
18.
Okay.
Dirty 20.
All right.
Nice. Natural 20.
Okay. Yeah, no. You all pass with flying colors. So, as you look at this ledge as it tapers back down right up against the wall, it in fact gets down to where it's like a 2-foot gap between the wall and straight death. And you look at it and you're like, everybody looks at each other, put your back facing outwards, and you're like, got this. And just start shimmy-shammying all the way across. You are able to finally reach the end of this 150-foot, what now feels a bit more deadly than was expected. And you enter a bit of a clearing on the mountaintop. The wind is blowing in even harder as it's cutting through a pass, and you can see a open area where it's nothing but snow and flurries just flying in your direction. And you start walking into this, like, wouldn't say a blizzard, but a good stiff wind.
Oof.
And just kind of pushing through knee-deep snow. You feel it just packing onto any fur-like leggings that you might have on.
So,
it's just like clumping into it.
Well,
That's nice.
if you're in front now, you're waddling in front, kind of like pushing snow aside. For the rest of
I
us.
would like to try and help, yes.
Okay. So, with the help of Leofin, he's the only one getting snowsuited at this point. Everybody else is still having to fight against this wind, and the snow is about ankle high for you. So it is still considered difficult terrain, just not as much. As you travel further in this path, you can start hearing faint noises. Someone, Leofin, actually. You have the highest perception. Give me a perception check. If anyone wants to help, you can.
And I have advantage?
Yes.
Yes.
I told you, stop using that dice.
Okay. So
Take it away from
16.
them.
As you're pushing the snow away, you can hear the echoes coming off the walls of something like growling, hoofing. And you... Okay.
I would probably, if I started to hear that, I would kind of stand up on my hind legs and just kind of like look around and like hold my paw up.
Okay.
Full stop.
As the badger paw goes up, you can barely see off into the distance, probably about 40 feet away, there is a... It seems like an overly large humanoid that could be wearing an odd hat, perhaps.
Oh,
And you can
Jesus.
see them walking through the snow. You see about 3 of them, and they're moving around. One's pushing another around, and another one's just kind of standing off to the side, and you can hear... and you can see something being lifted in between them, and you hear a snap, cracking sound
I would have heard.
That-
The rest of us would have
yes.
heard the crack, right?
that sounds a lot like snapping bone.
Oh, Jesus. I have a question.
Yes.
Are they speaking giant?
Give me just a straight intelligence check.
Well, I speak giant.
Oh, you speak? Oh. No.
That's
they
why
are,
I'm asking.
They are not speaking giant.
Okay, good to know.
Oh.
Sorry.
Birdie, takes her hand and whispers loud enough that the people directly behind her, Cyphos and Kaine, can hear her and go, "Everybody get down!" After that crack.
Cyphos kind of just like
That's
still
not good.
stands there, just like
He
after
slides
that-
and rides
On the side.
on the side of Fly.
Okay. Give me an acrobatics check.
Oh, okay. Well, thank goodness I have luck. Okay, that wasn't
Plus
too
6.
great. Yeah, so 12.
12. Okay. You slide over, and then you slide just a little too much, and your shoulders just breaking through.
just
You're
in
kind
the
of
snow.
snow plowing just a little bit as it takes a little bit of time for Clive to realize what's going on, and he stops and then kind of lowers himself a little bit, so you're resting on the snow sideways. So what are you guys gonna do?
I want to.
Well, there's a giant badger standing up in front of us, so we don't really see anything.
No, I would have gotten down. after she
Yeah,
said
after he went stop, and we
Yeah.
heard that crack. Birdie was like, "Everybody get down!"
Yeah.
I'm still standing up.
Kinda starts sweating profusely.
In the cold, that's even worse.
I want to do comprehend language.
It's fine, he's
Comprehend
sweating
language?
milk.
Yes,
Okay.
Right.
Just as a straight
Don't worry about it.
spell in the ritual.
it does a ritual. Yes.
Okay, that's going to take 10 minutes.
I'll just take that.
Yeah, as a ritual.
Rituals
Rituals
take
take
10
a while.
minutes.
I always forget. Okay. I kind of. Fuck it.
Do we
I'm gonna
want-
cast tongues.
Tongues?
Tongues.
Okay. So, as you're listening and trying, you can hear it a little more clearly. The wind is blowing your direction quite strongly, so you can hear their voices carrying voices, air quotes, and what everybody else is hearing is you're hearing as, "Don't hog it, I want some too. You don't deserve it. I'm the one who cracked it out of the sky." And you hear the other one just off to the side, standing, watching over, and is like, "Both of you quit your blubbering and just eat the damn thing or store it away. I want to be able to snack on something back in the cave."
I want to try my hand at this. I want to try and throw my voice, sounding like I'm further in the opposite direction. I have a performance of +3. I'm trying this.
Give me a
And
performance
deception.
check.
Why did you help Dio in his concerts, my dude?
Because he doesn't play instruments. Actually, he does, but he doesn't like playing it.
Like, seriously, we have
Dragonborn singing is very
5?
satisfying than-
we have 2
Okay.
Dragonborn musicians.
So, as you try and like cup your snout and just, what are you saying?
There's another one over there!
Jesus.
You say that,
Birdie like cringes and like her neck like sinks into her shoulders like as she turns around and just goes, "Fuck are you doing?" And she just mouths it to him like, "Why?"
You hear this going out. It sounds a bit muffled going up against the wind, and it doesn't really bounce off the walls of this little pass as you thought it might.
Mm-hmm.
The one that was just kind of standing there looking at the two idiots fighting over their kill cocks his head and he looks down the pass into y'all's direction. And he sees you. That was a natural 20. I'm sorry. He sees a group of people just sitting...
And a badger.
And a badger. Just crouched into the snow. And Syphos, you can hear him. He shouts over, "Oi, forget that bird. I think we got some more meat."
Hi, Syphos. Are we in danger?
Hang on.
As they begin to walk your way, I want everyone to roll for initiative.
Damn, I wanted to try something. Okay.
Oh,
It looks like we're in danger.
How far away are they?
They are
kind of bouncing
about
everywhere
30
there.
feet
Me?
from this initiative starting.
Got it.
As the Yetis start moving closer in on you, Dio, it is now your turn. Birdie, you will be up on deck,
Got it.
and they are currently, the closest one to you is 40 feet away.
Okay. Alright, I'm going to cast Magic Missile on this one right here.
The one that's closest to us, the single guy by himself.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because he decided to be unique and stuff, I decided to stomp that out.
Okay.
I'm going to be casting it at third
Go
level.
right.
Alright. Before you roll your damage,
Wild magic! I
roll me
missed
your
it.
percentile, and I will look it up while you roll damage.
Alright, 45.
Okay.
20 damage.
This one does not apply. It was all locked doors, swing open. Alright.
I'll
You're-
also use Bardic Inspiration to give it to Kaine.
okay, how much damage did you do to it?
20 points of damage.
20 damage. Okay, and you gave Kaine inspiration.
Bardic Inspiration.
Okay.
Because people will come
What, that you never give any humans bardic inspiration?
He still
Humanoid
has it.
creatures?
I was
Humanoid-
about
I was
to
gonna
say,
say,
he still has it.
I was like humanoid creatures.
Still has it.
That's racist.
Alright, so
That's
Birdie
racist.
is now your turn.
You're the only
Still
human-
not untrue though. Birdie is gonna pull out her spiral longbow
Okay.
with one of her +2 arrows
Okay.
that Leofin gave her. She still has some,
Oh,
thank
hey.
God.
After all these 20 plus years.
So the
I've
first
been an elf, that's not a
one
long time.
is a 12,
Okay.
and the second one is a 26.
Damn.
Okay.
And I am attacking the same one that I just saw all of those bolts of arcane energy hit.
Okay, so both of those hit. So after getting bombarded with bolts of force, and then all of a sudden, what feels like out of nowhere to this Yeti, 2 arrows just slam, one in one shoulder, another in the other. And you see blood trickling down. He's got a bit, it looks like he has a broken jaw now, and his arm is just kind of hanging at it loosely, and he's just wobbling on his feet.
Okay. I'm gonna move forward just to here.
Okay. Seeing his fellow Yeti getting just pummeled by all sorts of missile attacks, one of the 2 that were arguing starts moving up. He's about halfway to you guys. It sees Leofin poking his head out of the
As a
snow as a badger, and he looks dead at you, and your eyes just kind of meet, and you feel this icy cold just run through your blood. I need you to make a Constitution saving throw.
14.
14? Okay.
Okay, good.
You feel this rush of cold just shiver through you like extreme goosebumps. And you just kind of shake it off, your hair just poofing up for a bit as you just kind of... And then and you see the Yeti staring at you, and his angry glare becomes just menacing as he realizes that what he was trying to do does not take effect.
Oh,
And he is pissed. That is going to be his turn. Kaine, you are up. Oh, wait.
Nope.
No, it's the next Yeti.
Yeah.
He will also move in right onto Birdie.
Yeah, yep, I figured as much.
After getting pummeled by missiles, he rushes as much as he can through this, what is about knee-high snow to them, just plowing through it. And he is going to hit you with a multi-attack.
Okay.
Go ahead and roll for a Constitution.
Roll Constitution.
Yep.
Okay.
Give me a Constitution check.
15.
Does 15 hit?
15 meets.
Okay.
25 on that Constitution.
Okay, so you got on that.
10.
Okay.
No, that does not hit.
All right. So, as he's rushing towards you, he's staring you dead into the eyes, and a lot like Leofin, you feel this chill just rush through your blood. Your goosebumps are just like maybe your hands standing on end, and you don't even have to shake it off. You just like, oh, that's a tickle, and you ready yourself as the Yeti comes bearing down with his good arm. He brings it, cracks you right across the shoulder, doing 14 points of damage.
Okay.
Then he tries lifting his other arm to go in for another strike. The one that looks like now, at this point, could be popped out of socket from all those force blasts. And he just kind of tries and flings his whole body into it.
I'm going to take that
completely
arm.
miss.
Repose.
Okay. Give me an attack.
I want that arm. I need
Oh,
that
I'm getting
Yeti's
that
arm.
leg.
21 to hit.
21. That will hit.
Okay. It's another 15 points of damage.
Okay. As he starts to swing his body into make this arm come right at you, you just let your bow drop to the ground for a second, grab the hilt of your sword, and just swipe from armpit straight through out his neck, and just decapitating and disarming this Yeti.
The spray of blood just goes right across the front of Birdie, and she's just like...
It just leaves like a birdie-shaped mess behind you.
Yeah!
As the two halves of this body just slide apart, crashing to the ground. Kaine, it is your turn.
Yeah, I already know.
There's going to be Yeti up on deck.
He's gonna use this as a cursed move.
Yeah, I'm gonna go.
No, you
up
got
to
Bardic
this
Inspiration.
lady
You Gucci.
So what are you going to do?
right here. Alright, so I'm gonna run up to this healthy giant right here.
Okay.
I'm gonna cast my Aura.
Okay. Go right ahead. That's 4 attacks.
12 will hit.
Okay.
This is a 10.
That'll hit.
16. Oh,
No.
or plus 3. Right?
10 misses.
Crit 1.
Okay.
On that 10
Re-roll
your...
that. Just re-roll the 20. This is going to be for what happens to you.
This is his wallet.
4.
So 10.
Okay. So all 3 of those hit. Go ahead and roll damage for all those attacks.
Okay.
5
Plus 3.
and plus 3, that's 8. You take 4 points of damage.
Yeah.
Because of that crit fail.
Mhm.
In pure Kaine fashion, She rushes through some snow. Auras. Just 1, 2. Starts to bring up the next hit. Completely whiffs. And she like really puts some extra oomph into it. Arm goes fully extended and she feels a twinge just down her side as something feels like it might have tore. Comes back down and then just complete right across the jaw, cracking it. It is hurting. It's not on its last legs, but it is hurting. Okay.
And
So,
to add on to that, I would also like to knock it prone.
knock it prone. Okay.
Spend a key point.
Believe that is the key point was spin for the
The flurry, and then
flurry blows.
Yeah, and then
You have to spin another one for the.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So that's 2 key points down, and it does it have to make a check?
I believe it's a strength
Strength
check
check.
for going.
It's a dex.
Dex, yeah.
Dex check.
Sorry.
Dex 13.
13. So 15.
No, dex.
So it doesn't get knocked prone. What's close? As that last hit, you tried bringing it to its knees. It wobbles just a little bit, and it stands back up and just kind of looks at you, and it raises its own hands. And then we're going to move over to the next one. He is going to move his full movement, get right next to his buddy that's getting punched, and he is going to look at Birdie. I need you to make a what? Actually, he can't do it to you. Now you already succeeded. So he is going to look over at
Clive.
Dio,
Oh. Well,
seeing a halfling just riding on a goat. Looks over at you, and I need you to make a Constitution check.
alright. Is this a check or a saving throw?
Saving throw.
I need a hero. Yeah, 13.
All right.
I
So
ain't afraid of nothing. Or actually, I
again,
don't know what happens when you fail.
you feel ice just rush through your blood. You get a crazy goosebumps, and you have to shake it off as the Yeti is now just like, mother. And
We're professionals.
it is now Siphos' turn.
Okie dokie.
Leofin, you're on deck.
Siphos would like to throw Fireball
Oh my god, please.
Alright.
over here.
Okay.
20 feet behind, or, well, technically 25 feet behind.
25 feet. Okay.
And I can hit both.
Yeah. That'll work. Okay.
That's
so,
20 foot radius.
What
Whoever's
is...
chunking.
What's the check?
It's a dex. Yeah, it's one down. There you go. It's a
Saving
dex.
throw.
Yes.
Dex saving throw, what they got?
14.
Anything in the walls.
That one failed. That one failed. Alright, they both fail.
Full damage.
Okay. So. 23 damage.
Okay.
Crispy Yeti.
Several crispy Yetis.
Get it while it's hot.
So, Siphos pokes up above the snow some more. You see a little ball just start to form in his hand. And it's just a tiny... It almost looks kind of like a bead. Grows larger, and then starts to shrink back down, almost condensing. It looks like it's trying to force its way apart, and he just lobs it right over the Yetis, crashing down, and as soon as it touches the lightest little snowflake on the ground, just in a huge eruption, just crashing through all the snow, evaporating in an instant. The 2 Yetis get smacked from behind by a wave of flame. Kaine brings her arm over her head, sweating extremely profusely.
At least I'm not sweating icicles.
Yeah, no. It is now sweat. And you bring your arm back down to look and see the Yetis completely singed, just black hair everywhere. If you could see their back ends, just nothing but raw skin, as these now black-furred creatures are enraged. And it is now Leofin's turn.
Just as a bonus action.
Vola, you're on deck.
Cyclos does want to just... Do you want to surrender now, or do you want to be like your friend?
An intimidation?
Hell yeah.
He had tongues, so he speaks their language.
Okay.
I have a +6.
Yetis are afraid of fire.
Yes, they are.
Doesn't fucking matter. It's a 1.
Oh,
That's a critty 1.
They scared as shit.
Does he not get advantage because of the
they
fireball?
are afraid of fire, you do get advantage.
Oh, thank God.
Christ. Didn't help much.
I was thinking
11.
that it was a roast, and he's like,
11.
Okay.
Alright, +6.
You see them just getting hit by this fire. They are scared mad. They are at a point where they just can't understand their own feelings, and they're looking back at it, looking at you, and they just kind of stand there. They're actually just frozen in fear at this moment.
I just sit there. Very well.
Okay.
Alright. I will go ahead and use my bonus action to shapeshift into a dire wolf.
Okay.
Direfin! Direfin.
it must be,
Then I will use my movement to move.
Oh, no,
appear
damn it, I
next to
can't even
Kylo.
make the joke.
Oh,
All right.
He didn't say no.
wait.
He just said,
Then I will use my main action to do a light attack on the one directly in front of me.
Okay. You have pack tactics, I believe, so you get advantage.
Yep.
He's a pretty lady, left me.
Alright, so 15 to hit.
15 to hit. That will hit.
Okay. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 points of damage.
9. Okay. You bound through the snow, just kind of like, whoop, whoop, and then jump up and just snap your jaw right into its neck, crushing its windpipe and bringing it down to the ground. You're on top of it, and in this bestial savagery, you rip his windpipe out and stare at the next one in line.
Just growling with his jowls up.
Yeah.
Oh, I love it.
Anything else?
That's all I can do, sir. That'll be it.
wolf
Okay.
noises.
It is Vola's turn. Dio, you're up on deck.
Alright. I don't think that'll be an issue.
We'll toll the dead, the last guy.
2d12.
Action. He needs to make a wisdom saving throw.
Okay.
13.
Right. Okay, I think everybody's just gonna pass any checks today. That was a 17.
That's not true. They failed mine.
Oh, yeah.
That's true. That's just true. Alright. Getting frustrated at the fact that it's not paying attention to me. I am gonna jump towards it. I'm gonna jump towards it.
Do you want it?
And I'm gonna hit it with my warhammer.
Okay. All right.
That's not cool.
How much jump do you have? Like 50
50.
feet? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so you take about...
I mean, technically speaking, I could actually just walk there, but nope, I'm jumping towards it because
It's more intimidating.
it is more
Yeah.
intimidating
Darn
that
it.
way.
Yeah.
I want to say something, but it's too much.
Yeah, no, you can't quite make it there with your movement because it is half
Right.
movement.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
But you like
I can definitely jump there.
you like bring your shield in front of you and just kind of lower yourself down and start snow plowing the snow out of your way so you can get just enough movement or just enough speed so you can jump forward, coming down with your hammer, and then go
I
ahead
do
and roll for
two-handed.
attack. Okay.
It's 8 plus 5.
Okay. 8 plus 5.
13.
That will hit. So roll for damage.
7.
7 points? Okay. So as you're coming down, you bring your hand back up and you smack down onto this Yeti's collarbone, and you hear a slight snap as your hammer comes back up, and you ready it by your side. All right, it is now Dio's turn.
All right.
Birdie, you're on deck.
Clive is going to move right next. Well, Dio on top of Clive is going to move right next to whatever his name is, Cyphos.
Typhos?
Next to Cyphos?
The blue fuck?
Yeah, and then
Charge.
yeah, we're going to charge into him. And
Okay.
while he's charging, Dio is going to pull out his rapier and whack at him.
Okay. All right, so roll for Clive's hit and roll for your attack.
Right, 14 plus.
Okay.
So 14, and then Dio rolls 15 for.
Okay.
I guess technically it's
mine.
based on your dex.
That will hit. All right, roll for damage
Alright, so
on both of them.
5 plus 2d4.
So I'll have no effect on your
That's 3 plus 5, so that's 8 points of damage
Okay.
for the charge. So 7 plus 5, and then plus 2 because it's a blue flaming rapier. Remember, so that's 14.
14.
I forgot that my rapier
Okay.
can actually do damage.
Yeah.
I should probably use it more often.
You know that's what swords are for, right? It's doing damage.
Oh yeah, I can stab things with this shit.
Okay. So
As you pull it out of your fucking bagpipe.
as
'Cause that's where he has it.
Clive starts rushing forward, you can see the snow just starting to part for him as he charges in,
Out of respect. not
bringing
because pushing it.
bringing his spiked horns down, crashing it right into this Yeti's groin. It starts to bend down, and as it does so, Dio whips the flaming rapier out of his bagpipe and then just jams it straight into its nasal cavity, poking out the back, as you can see what kind of looks like now a candle coming out of the back of its head. And then it drops to its knees, and you pull it back out as its skull is now being cauterized, and it falls back, hitting the ground, dead. Congratulations! You
beat
all
3
win.
squirrels.
Yay. Birdie immediately retrieves her arrows out of the Yeti in front of her, and then picks up the arm that's and the shoulder that's still attached to it, and just throws it over her shoulder and is like, "Oh, that was interesting."
Dio puts his hand and starts scratching the bottom of Clive's chin. Did you kill monsters today?
I go ahead and let out a howl as a wolf.
All right.
Cyphos would
Good
like
boy,
to
Dean.
go
Are you going to read
bleed
with
one of
the
the Yetis into a vial that he took
Okay.
from from the guy that figured out all of our magic items.
Oh, the artificer.
There you
the
go.
artificer.
Survival check.
Survival.
Yeah.
10.
Okay. You find a spot on its neck, and you just kind of stick one of your other daggers into its throat.
I have a weird amount of
Since
daggers.
since you can't seem to find the one you usually use for situations like this,
Where'd my beating dagger go?
and you kind of just put the vial up against its throat and just start trying to squeeze. You get a little bit of charred fur in there, but it's mostly Yeti blood.
I just need to be humanoid.
You walk up to one of these,
The one I decapitated.
the one you decapitated. Okay, you walk up to it, and it is like arm.
Well, I have his arm on my shoulder right now.
Well, then its head is hanging off your shoulder.
Oh, okay. I didn't know
the
if it was
arm,
all still attached
neck,
there.
and
You have,
head
like-
are
Okay,
still
so
attached.
I basically have everything from the collarbone down.
Yes.
That's a side flash. Okay, so I'm gonna throw that down on top of the rest of its body and
Okay.
use its body as like a table to carve horns off.
Okay. So, taking that, you press it up against the body, and you bring your sword up and start smacking at it.
Well, I have a hand axe.
A hand axe? Okay, that works better. So you start whacking at it with your hand axe, and it gets most of the way through, and then you flip it around,
Crap.
and just smack it at the tip of the horn and it cracks off. You do have one horn. Do you want the other?
Yes, it is.
Okay. So
That 18
Yeah.
do for both?
re-
Okay.
it will repeat for both.
Cool. I have 2 Yeti horns.
I'd like to go and just kind of sniff around in the area and
let's
see
go.
if I smell any live Yetis nearby as well.
Okay, give me a perception check. With advantage because you do have the wind blowing towards you, and you're most definitely sure there's nothing behind you
Okay.
Yeah.
because there was an avalanche that way. You got a 21. You smell no more Yetis in the vicinity. You get a good whiff of these, and what you assume is probably a little extra from their disgorging, decapitations, and seared flesh. But you get a general sense of how they smell.
You know how they taste like
Uh,
barbecue.
Yeah. Kind of like kangaroo jerky.
Oh.
Not great. It's edible.
Yeah.
It's not great. So you start sniffing around. Cannot smell any more in the area as far as you can tell.
Can I go over where they were standing originally and just see what bird they were talking about?
Yeah.
Yeah, see what they were talking about.
Or, well, no,
What
I
it was
wouldn't
that
know that
they
either,
had cracked. Yeah, they had cracked
Well,
it. We heard them
You
crack
did
the
see
bone.
them cracking
though.
something.
Okay. I would want to go just see what that was about.
All right. So
I'll go with him.
all right. So as you start moving over there, you do see a broken and just it's hard to tell what kind of beast this is. Give me another survival or nature check, whichever one's better.
7.
Can I help on that since I'm with him?
Yes, you can.
Advantage. Wow.
7.
Fuck!
You rolled way worse.
For a druid, you don't know what you're talking about.
So 7.
He doesn't know nature at all. Sand.
You have
It's the forest,
absolutely no clue what this thing is. It is. You imagine this thing should fly, but it's not something you've ever seen before from the little bits that you can make out. That being its brown, almost color-tinged feathers on the tips of its wings. The rest of it just covered in blood. You can see that there are some talons laying like 20 feet away that one of the Yetis had torn its leg off and had just ripped the meat off the bone and thrown it away. Nice, delicious drumstick. Another part you can see its skull is just caved in and not quite sure, but those definitely look like antlers, but that shouldn't belong to any bird you've ever seen. So,
Dima would like to make his way over there on 5.
okay.
Alright, what do we have here? Direfin.
I would
Speak.
work with you.
I let out a whine.
Can Dio roll to see if he knows it?
Can
Uh,
I use my researcher?
To be fair, he seems to know random things sometimes.
Yeah, go ahead and give me a
Survival?
survival or nature, whichever is better.
I'm gonna take survival.
Okay.
Yeah, apparently I'm good at survival. Okay, could you
16? Okay. Looking at this thing, you can immediately tell you're looking at bits and pieces of it, and you know for a fact this is not any bird that exists on this continent. In fact, the only thing you can think of that's close to this is something from a old story that you were told back in the day when you were learning how to pluck away on a lute and just barely learning the screeching sounds of a bagpipe.
You mean the lovely sounds of a bagpipe? I haven't played.
That's what I said. Yeah.
I should
So-
do it now. Now that we're prone to avalanches.
Yeah.
Hey,
So
I didn't think these existed.
you do know, you do have a name as a Creighton.
Hi. Direfin, if you can understand me, this is what was it called again? A Praeton?
A Creighton.
This is a Praeton.
Do I hear that?
We're all kind of around
Yeah,
him.
we're all together, aren't we?
Yeah, yeah. Well,
But I'm-
sticking around.
The story time is for Direfin now. Y'all aren't supposed to be listening.
I was about to say, like, after I read the children's book, the monster from the library.
Mhm.
Does that name ring a bell?
I was gonna say, can I use my researcher on that?
From the many books, children's books that you read, some of those books did have one of these as a kind of antagonist to the folk tale. This was the thing that a halfling fought as if it were a dragon. And a wooden, like, milk churner shield, like the top for a wood churner
That poor
as a
halfling
shield,
kid.
and a broomstick broken off with like a knife tape or tied to it to act as a spear. You
no longer hear that, halfling.
give me a insight check.
I'm gonna start taking its antlers
Okay.
and some of its feathers, the ones that aren't as damaged
Yeah, again.
So,
by the big.
At the
Ooh,
end.
natural 20! Plus 2, 22.
Okay. So, give me a survival check on the carving of the animal.
Got it.
I was like, what?
And you remember from a couple of the stories, they have like bits and pieces of what this animal can do. And in the stories, it often will swoop in and attack a person without any fear of reprisal and just fly right off too quickly for anyone to react. Its diving attacks are incredibly ferocious and can be very deadly. And it does have very sharp talons and can pretty much tear just huge chunks, if not limbs, off of other creatures with its beak.
20.
20.
Dirty 20.
Okay. So, easily, you go up, start kind of like plucking a turkey. Just start plucking feathers off
That's with
the
those primary flight
wing
feathers
tips,
from
yeah.
the wings.
just getting them all off. Go over there. The antlers are mostly already detached from its crushed skull.
Yeah.
Once you pull away, there's still bits of skull and a little bit of brain matter attached to it. And just kind of wipe it off in the snow. Start packing it in your very full pack of
No.
other
I'm
stuff.
putting this in the bag of holding.
Oh, the bag.
I walk
holding?
over to
Okay.
Siphos with like a full armload of Perryton feathers and 2 antlers.
Go to the right one.
Okay.
After
I-
Leo tells
I debate.
Leofin that it's a Perryton, I said that, I'm like, it was a story about a halfling fighting one as if it was a dragon. Those things are fucked up. And I mean, like, highly fucked up. Like, they will come in, they will grab you, and you're fucking gone, and your limbs will be ripped off by its beak.
Aye, and that's
No
why
one else.
halflings are the best at fighting them.
Yeah, that halfling died.
The halfling, not from the stories I heard.
You didn't read that
Yes,
book.
because they're not
Aye.
going to tell you.
This is a dwarven book, and your halfling tales. They conflict in the tellings.
Aye, well, in my tellings, when I grew up, and since this is a halfling story, halfling wins. So,
I think you're full of shit, Dio.
Okay.
Aye.
Either way,
This is the last one, Siphos.
How many was in there?
An armload of Perryton primary flight feathers
Yeah,
and
we'll-
2 Perryton antlers.
We'll say a good 50.
50?
50.
Yeah.
50 feathers.
50.
Perry Ton.
if we're going to be going through the mountain and these things are going to be flying around, we may want something to secure us more.
Aye, well,
Just
I'm on top
FYI.
of Clive.
Should we keep a hold of
They
the
will
rope that we
pick
were
up
using
you and Clive.
on the narrower
No,
trail?
That wouldn't be a
Full?
bad idea.
Should we keep a hold of the rope that we were using on the narrower trail? That way, if it tries to pick up one of us, it has to try and pick up all of us.
That
Yeah.
sounds like a good idea.
That way, we're all
And-
weighted down.
Yeah, if all else fails, Leofin can just activate his immovable rod. At that point, it would have to
Yeah.
drop us or snap the rope, which is plausible.
Well, by that point, we could have some sort of reaction to it. I mean, several spellcasters, an archer. I mean, there's going to be something.
That's true. That's true.
If nothing else, Kaine can run up the rope and just punch it in the face.
I kind of look over and just being like, there you go.
I just wink at him.
For some reason, Leofin's ears are getting red. I don't know why.
Regardless, Dio pulls out his
Birdie's just
crossbow
like
and
absentmindedly rubbing Leofin's fuzzy wolf ears.
You can feel them twitch.
Dio
Is that
pulls
a-
out his crossbow and holds an action for when he sees one of these fucks.
Oh,
Okay.
yeah, great. Let's attract their attention by shooting them.
Noted.
If he attacks.
Yeah.
Okay.
So,
Yeah. Being
If
specific.
this thing comes towards us,
Yeah.
Okay.
so I'm gonna tie the end of the rope in a loose loop, and just slide that over Direfin's head, so it's like a collar, and then I grab the loop behind it and just pass the rope along. You can't really, you don't have hands right now, so just pass the rope along. So I've got one loop just looped through my wrist, and then I'm grabbing the rope and pass it to Sifos, and he passes it back to Kaine and down the line.
No, we can't.
Dio
we can't
loops
split the
hit
party.
one loop through Clive's horn and then grabs the end of it.
All right.
So again, we're all attached.
Good.
Like a snake of adventurers going through a snowy, blustery pass.
Good to know. So, as your party continues forward through this pass, again,
Only
for
about
a-
15 feet every 6 seconds.
yeah, for a brief period, just a little lovely spot where the stone was still heated from a fireball. There was no snow. And then it began again.
Right back into the wall of it, huh?
Yeah, right back into 3-foot drifts. And you're just plowing through as much as possible. Leofin's fur just becoming a coated mat of snow. And as you keep pushing forward, give me a... Leofin, give me a perception check.
Am I take advantage with smell? Or.
No, this one's gonna have to be sight.
Alright.
Yeah, we got the wolf eyes.
19.
19?
Nice.
that's
So,
still good.
through this flurry of snow that has started picking up, it's getting on to the verge of being somewhat like a blizzard. You look over trying to push through, and you can see what looks like a cave opening on the right hand side. And the further you get, the closer you get to it, it does go down, and it starts to, from what you can tell, slope down into the mountain.
I
You
would,
start kinda
yeah, I would turn
direction.
towards that, and I would kind of let out a whine and kind of do the pointer.
Just
Flat
paw,
ears, paw
like-
up,
Yeah.
nose
And then
straight
that
with
whole-
tail.
Point your
Noise.
fin.
Yeah.
Point your fin.
all right, nice. As the party sees Finn pointing and then starting to head that way, are you gonna
Yeah,
follow
I'm gonna
him?
assume
Yeah,
we
whatever.
follow him that way.
So as y'all
I'm
enter
kind of tied to
the
him, so.
Yeah.
yeah,
Now we start doing kind of like the owner thing, being like, no, stop smelling everything. Come on. I swear to God, if it's another dead rabbit, I'm gonna have to kill you.
so as you start to head into
Don't eat the pizza. You don't even know where that's been.
start heading into the cavern, you can hear the wind slowly starting to fade off into the distance, and you enter an area with familiar cave sounds. It's still a somewhat cold shaft, but it is far warmer than what you just came from, yes. That wind was really starting to get at you.
I attempt to shake myself off.
Give me a athletics check.
Okay.
Let's see how much you get off.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
You had a lot of snow in front of.
What is the athletics for the...
Strength?
Yeah, it's based on your strength.
Yeah, I need to pull it up.
Alright, now I think would be a good time to send a message to whoever sent a message.
Nice.
to us.
Not bad.
11.
Not bad.
And you shake off most of it, and you go up to a wall and just start scraping some of the snow off your fur, and you just kind of keep shaking. You get most of it off. There's still like a few clumps here and there, but it's not going to impede your movement. So that's good.
Alright.
Cyphos actually takes a page from him and just kind of shakes off too. Not very much, just kind of like mockingly.
Okay.
Just like,
I want
Some falls
to
off.
do a perimeter check. Just check out the cave. How deep does it continue to go deeper than a certain point, or is it just a cave and it dead ends into a wall or something?
It does. Give me a investigation check.
Okay.
Just this little area.
14.
Okay. So as you check out this area, we'll say it was about 30 feet from 30-foot
Side to side.
perimeter.
Okay.
From what you can tell, it does look like it continues on down. And an odd thing you didn't notice when you first walked in, but as you're looking further down into the cave, you start looking around, and as you look back, you can see that the glowstone is noticeably way dimmer than it should be.
For the time of day that it is.
Yes.
Okay.
It is dim light on the verge of darkness in here.
Shit. Alright, I'm gonna pull out a torch.
Okay.
And I'm gonna do like a good 120-foot perimeter check around the area where we're kind of defrosting.
All right. It's not a huge cavern length or width-wise.
Yeah, it's only about
It's-
30, about like 120 feet back.
Yeah.
I'm checking it.
Okay. So you go down the tunnel and you find that there is a fork in the tunnel that kind of goes off into one direction. Looking down it, you can see that it kind of curves back in. Don't really go down the path, just take note of it.
Mm-hmm.
And a little bit further down, you notice that there's another branch off to the left.
Okay.
And then you start heading back up towards the rest of the party.
Well, the cave branches off a bunch back there, but if we, stick to this area, we should be okay. Maybe set up a guard or an alarm.
do we have any of those? The alarm, at least.
I have a ward. Take like
How long have we been traveling?
like 3 hours.
What time is it?
But
It has been probably around 4 hours now.
Oh, okay, so I'm back.
Since you started from the caves, or from the temple.
Okay, so it's like noonish.
okay.
Yeah, it's around
Okay.
noon. You said you have 3 hours on that? You have probably about...
He would have about 2 hours left on it after the fight with the Yeti, right?
About 1 hour.
Oh,
we'll
okay.
give
So it's
you-
been that much longer.
Yeah.
Okay. Do we want to take a short rest here before we head back out into that? She points at the
Perhaps we should
entrance to the
respond to who sent that message.
I'll go ahead and shapeshift out of my wolf form, and as I'm doing so, I would say, yes, I would agree with that. And
Pretty good, like knocks some extra snow off the top of his head. Just like
y'all are setting up for, what was it, a short rest?
short rest.
Yes. Okay. Did anybody bring anything for a fire, or...
we have create bonfire.
Yeah, I do have fire.
So let's say we have the mobile campsite with us.
Yeah.
So.
Okay.
Yeah.
I can literally just be like, "Hey, fire."
Okay.
So I'm
How
gonna go
long
ahead
does
and do
the
that.
fire last?
Go ahead
And do you have fuel?
I don't actually think I need to remember or talk about how I can use my instruments instead of having to use.
I was about to say, is
Yes.
this instrument as a focus or?
No, the instrument is.
It's a magic bonfire.
Yeah, so it doesn't actually need anything.
All right. How long does it last? A minute. Okay.
Um,
Is it a cantrip?
Yes.
Okay.
So I can just be
So
like,
essentially, you're just casting bonfire every minute without fuel.
Yeah, I was about to say.
If you have fuel, you can cast it. It'll start eating away at the
at the fuel.
fuel source.
Yeah, so if we
And
have
you
like
don't have to
sticks or
cast
something-
it again
Yeah.
until the fuel's gone.
I can just do that while I'm playing music.
Yeah, we can have that.
All right,
Uh,
performance check.
Go ahead.
Sure.
Oh yeah, because you have your thing, didn't
So 18.
18.
Yeah, 10 plus 8.
Yeah.
I'm good at what I do.
The only reason was for the slimmest chance that you rolled 2 1s and then just had to sit there and tune your lute for, or was it citrine?
Citrine.
For like an hour. But yeah, you play a nice little ditty.
Oh yeah, I'm not sure if you have it in your notes, but you technically have Dio's loop.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Because Dio doesn't need it anymore.
yeah, and you just play it, casting bonfire as needed, as everybody sits around the flames, warming back up. Any snow that had packed onto their furs is melted away after a while, and while just a little bit damp, you are ready and rested for the next leg of whatever you're going to be doing.
Alright, should we send a message back to
You use one of my hit dice.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll write a report.
assuming that it's still the Rusher's Eye?
Report year unknown. Location unknown. Objective unknown.
Yep.
We're good.
Party members all in good health.
Well,
No. Party members unknown.
Okay.
All ascending.
Alrighty.
Yeah, I imagine a report back would be good. Who knows, maybe they could either tell us something
hold on.
or...
Requesting information.
Cyphos, I need a piece of paper.
Why?
In
You
the note
know
that you
what?
sent, Vola, did you mention
Do you
anything
really
about
think
us
this is a
being
good
gone
time?
for a period of time?
It's a good
I
time.
asked how long it's been.
Alright.
I asked
Vola,
what's been going on. I asked.
actually, you know
something else.
what? I'm gonna take that paper that's, Dio's gonna take the report paper, the one that just says report,
Okay.
and he's gonna make a paper airplane out of it,
Okay.
even though he doesn't know what a plane is.
Give,
I mean, you made a paper flying thing before.
Yeah. A paper
Bernie asked
flying
asked
machine.
Cyphos to a piece of paper so she can write the report.
It was sleight of hand, wasn't it?
yes, a intelligence sleight of hand
Yeah,
check.
I think a report would be good. They might
Wait,
we
what?
might be able to figure out who else
yes,
is in
an
charge of
intelligence
Riftwalker's Eye now,
sleight of
and,
hand check.
Yeah.
So
that's-
just intelligence?
Use your
Sleight of hand.
intelligence and your proficiency in sleight of hand.
Alright, so you said intelligence? I don't get any bonuses, so 16 on intelligence.
Okay.
Believe it or not.
No,
Sleight of hand. Wow, this is not going to
Plus
look
4.
that great, so 8.
8. Okay.
I know, I can visualize it, but
It's plane shaped. It's like it's a slightly poor, just like regular paper airplane. The crease was kind of just like a little off, so it's just a little crooked
it's
at the point where you throw it. Yeah, it would kind of fly in a circle.
Hi, we're sending this over there. They might enjoy this, whoever gets this message. Hopefully it's Malachi.
I just.
I don't think
I
it's-
really just want to
so-
write back. You answer my questions, I answer yours.
Yeah, so
you
the-
first.
I write back the report. It says location, time, location, and whereabouts unknown. Party in need of supplies. Please advise.
Party in need of information.
Supplies and information. Please advise. And then that's the report.
And then I also put the paper airplane in there.
Okay. So, You shut the door and
it.
click it over into the sending
Position.
position. And you see the light flick on and then slowly dim away. And as usual.
Okay. I was like, does it dim? I didn't know
Yes.
it dimmed.
Yeah. Every time the light is signifying that the transfer happened,
Mm-hmm.
and then it'll dim off.
Okay. That's good to know.
So the message has been sent. When did you do this? Like at the beginning of your rest, or?
Yeah.
Okay, so after an hour or so, didn't get anything back as of yet. What are y'all gonna do now?
Who wants to go deeper in the creepy cave? Hi, Cyphos has got the best attitude.
What reason do we have for going in the cave?
That's a cave.
Do I have any indication of which direction the cave is going down? Is it going east or west?
It is, as far as you can tell right now, well, you know exactly where north is. It is heading in a north-northeast direction. And it slopes down at probably about a 35-degree angle.
And Cypher's just got a bloat and it's like, I'm pretty sure this is the right direction. No idea, but I feel it in my heart.
If there's a chance that it might open on the other side, I'd rather walk through
Cave than through a blizzard?
Yeah.
I agree.
All right, I'll make my little light man, and so I cast dancing lights.
You mean
Okay.
Dancing DeVito?
So,
Dancing DeVito. Ooh.
Yeah.
so you make
Nice.
the dancing DeVito.
Yes.
And I take the torch that I had used when we get to the split in the road. I basically just with a giant piece of charcoal, just put an arrow in the direction that we went.
Okay. All right. So you did this at the
At the
At the fork?
Yeah.
at the fork for the leftward fork.
Yeah, we're going east,
Okay. And
northeast.
north. You're gonna continue straight forward.
Yeah.
All right.
Every time we go in caves, it always turns out
All
terrible.
right. So as you
Well,
continue,
hopefully we won't run into any more beholders.
Or giant spiders.
all right.
Giant spiders I can handle.
Yeah, I'd rather pick on the giants. No.
Let's turn into a giant spider. Maybe we can talk to it.
As y'all are talking and walking down this cavern, time passes, starting to get feel like maybe about 3.5 hours pass, and as you're traveling through, you see these odd little tunnels starting. They're not very large, probably about the size of a large dog, and they pop in and out at weird angles. One coming from straight above 50 feet down. There's another one that goes down at a 45-degree angle.
I'm gonna run into a giant fucking centipede or something. Feels it.
As you get further and further in, these tunnels start becoming more numerous.
Cypher
I want
wants
to
to do magic
I also want to
eyeballs.
investigate the tunnel.
Okay.
That'd be much like magic.
Give me an investigation check, and you also give me an investigation check.
I guess you can think what that is. That's 1.
All right, roll again.
12.
Okay.
12.
Almost lost your wolf.
Okay.
Make it easy for you.
So as you throw on your detect magic, you start to look at a tunnel that goes up and is starting to dig into some glowstone. And you look up and you're just start standing there, shocked by what you see. Essentially 12 just means that you don't move anywhere.
Like you kind of just get mystified and just like...
You've seen the glowstone before, and it, regardless of how bright or dim they've looked in the past, they always gave off a certain amount of magical aura. These are significantly diminished, and that simple fact just kind of makes you stop in your tracks and you're just staring up at it. Birdie, you walk up and start inspecting the holes.
I know rocks.
And you start looking in, and you find what you would expect mostly from a hole, but you also find a tiny piece of what looks like a chitinous shell. Just laying, kind of chipped away.
What color is it?
It's like a bluish gray, almost at the point of being like gunmetal gray, but not that. And that's about all you find in this hole.
Alright, I think it's time for us to leave. There's a bunch of holes.
Something insectoid, maybe? Then
told
she
you.
holds up the piece of chitin.
I fucking told you. Giant
Psycho.
centipede.
Psychos.
Huh. What?
Bugs. And she holds the piece of chitin out to him. Any ideas?
Gross.
Doesn't give off any magical aura.
Yeah, it's
Kaine?
just looks gross.
You familiar with mountain bugs at all?
It's like a. I mean, I check it out.
Are they reading
but-
any children's horror stories about cave bugs?
About cave bugs? You have read many.
Any ideas
yeah.
pop into
Okay.
mind?
I hand
need to
the
roll
piece of chitin
Just-
over to Kaine.
Just from this chitin, no. You can't really. There's several things that come to mind, but none of them you can't like decipher between any of them, or if it is any of them. Also,
It's
just a piece of shell. There's not much you can glean from this.
What the shell?
That's 7. Yeah, 7 plus whatever.
Alright,
It's a 6-year-old.
let's leave.
So, the glowstone is not putting off as much magic as it used to.
I noticed they were dimmer.
Magic eating bugs.
Ugh.
Does that trigger anything?
I would actually have to search through the monster manual for that. Not off the top of your head, because not off the top of my head. Alright, so.
Cyphos definitely wants to be on just to kind of look out for anything giving off like a little bit of magic. Or
Okay.
more magic than it's around. Let's say that.
Alright. You continue forward.
Does it still feel like we're going east?
You are still heading. It's kind of curved back and forth, but you're heading in a northern direction. It'll go north, northeast, more north, northwest.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just kind of it's weaving back and forth.
Bird is going to recommend that we stay as quiet as possible going through here.
Well, it just...
I look.
Bullet does exactly that and just...
arms
I
in the
look
air.
very heavily at Vola, just like.
All right. As the party starts moving forward,
And I do keep my
you keep throwing
detect
up.
magic on every single time it goes out.
So, as you're walking through, you start to enter a area that kind of opens up a lot more. There's tunnels that start to move off, ones that you yourself could travel down into several different directions, and you start to hear a sound, like a slight rumbling, and all of a sudden, from 2 different directions, a creature pops in from the ceiling, falling down to the ground, while another one bursts through the wall, and they both land kind of in a general same area. What you see is a monstrous looking creature that, shaped kind of like a bullet, has very incredibly powerful legs that just look like they could spring load it forward, and a bluish gunmetal like gray chitinous shell that layers upon it, all the way down from its monstrous beak all the way down to the tip of its tail. And they look over into your direction, and that's where we're going to end for the night. Damn.
Real quick, are these things considered beasts?
No, these are monstrosities.
Of course, the crazy.